Price can read. I am, as you know, M. Price, and today we're not going to be reading, but today we are going to be playing the Lord of the Rings trading card game. If you watched my previous video, you'll have kind of a breakdown of the rules and of my decks and my characters that I like to play as. And I thought, you know what, why not actually play the game? So today we are going to play the game, and we're going to play the 4 characters at the same time that I like the most. Eowyn, Gandalf, Aragorn, and Gimli, my best decks. And we're going to pit them against each other to see who will win. Ideally, one of them wins because it is kind of possible for all 4 people to lose, actually. So let's go. Without further ado, let's dive in and enter the game board. Alright, so this is our game board. We have all 4 players in our corners, Gimli, Aragorn, Gandalf, and Eowyn's decks. You'll notice this is a sort of after video commentary, just because recording the audio at the time just does not work with my table setup. So I'll just be commentating on what's going down as it goes down in front of our eyes. And just because the footage is there's a tad wonky with as kind of a roll around the table it goes. If you just want to close your eyes and listen to the soundscape I've made of just beads and cards and whatnot, feel free. Anyway, here is my next D&D character, Baldi, the Aarakocra Ranger, and his little pup Rufus to watch over and make sure that I'm playing fair. And then of course a little die right there to roll for any chance encounters that, any kind of decision making. I think it's basically just to see who goes first, just because we want to keep it even. I want to make sure that I'm not preferring one or the other player. Here are the 4 tokens we're going to be using to determine who is who on our site map. Brown for Gimli, green for Gandalf, blue for Aragorn, and yellow for Eowyn. And yes, place your bets now. Who will go first? Right now I'm just determining the 5 scale for each. Guessing 5 to 10, or 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20. Let's see who we get. And we have 18, so that means Aragorn goes first. Woohoo! Alright, so we're going to start with Aragorn. That means we start with his sight number 1, so we'll just put that in the corner up here. The cards below each character, by the way, is just what they have in their hand. They're allowed to have 8 cards in their hand. We'll start everyone on there. Yeah, once again, if this is too wobbly for you, it's literally me holding the camera and walking around my table. I cut around the worst of the wobbles, but once again, you don't like it, just either one, watch my stationary previous Lord of the Rings video, or just close your eyes and listen for the ride. Now on each site, there's a little arrow that points to who provides the next site. So this one, there's a left arrow pointing to the player on Aragorn's left, being Eowyn. So we'll use Eowyn's second sight when Aragorn does move, because you do have to move every single round. You gotta get closer to Mount Doom to throw in the fire, or the ring in the fire, that is. Here is our hand. Aragorn's deck that I created has a lot of the Kingdom of the Dead cards, a lot of these dead folk here that has 2 Oathbreakers right there. I have the obvious King of the Dead, but he requires a little bit of a setup, just as much as that Shadow Host army. But I am going to play each of these Oathbreakers. They cost 2 Twilight tokens each. That's the sort of pool of money that good guys put into and bad guys take out of. Each player plays the good guys and the bad guys at the same time. It's kind of fun. Because now I have 2 wraiths out, I'm allowed to play the King of the Dead, so I will play him. And I can't play my army yet just because I have to have my guys to be exhausted first. We'll get to that later. I have 5 companions, so I add 5 Twilight tokens, and then the site has a Twilight cost of 3, so I'll add 3 more then, so that is our full Twilight pool for the bad guys to play on. You go clockwise around the table to see what bad guys everyone has to play. Each of them have their own little costs. The little compass in the bottom of the card just letting you know is their roaming number. sights 1 through 9, and as you play the game, say these Dunlin folk, their sight is 3. On the sights before 3, they cost an extra 2 points to play, but once you get to sight 3, kind of like their home sight, then they cost a regular amount. For instance, one that's really obnoxious is like Urukai's sight is like sight 5, so it takes a while for them to get to their normal price. Or like Shelob. Shelob's sight is sight 8. So if you play Shelob's sights 1 through 7, you're gonna have to be paying 2 more Twilight tokens for her. So because these guys just happen to be so expensive, I'm just gonna be playing those 2 Dunlin Raider guys. And then we go over to my Dwarven Goblin deck, and I'll just play some of these conditions, which basically show up later, kind of like little support things. And conditions events, basically non-character cards. They don't cost extra money for the little compass, the little roaming sign, so I can play them whenever. Now we will assign our 2 Dunlin Raiders. We'll assign one guy over there, and assign our other guy. Let's see what I decided. Come on, make a decision, Bryce, make a decision. And oh, we did. Excellent decision. Now, the Dunlin guy has a higher strength, so on both instances, my guys take damages, but that's okay. You'll notice here, because of the little conditions of their cards, they each have special abilities, and because the one guy won a fight, well, because they both won fights, that's what Dunlin's kind of shtick is. They get to come back and be fierce. Fierce means you have to fight him a second time, so he comes back and does another damage. It happens because the Dunlin guy's strength is like 11 and the Oathbreaker's is like 6, so the Dunlin guy beats him. Aragorn, because he is strong AF, will decide to venture forth and go to another site. Your site limit, the most you can travel, is the number of other players you're fighting against. So because I'm battling 3 people, I can travel up to 3 sites. So this is our second site we will travel on to. So we'll add the site cost again. We'll add the 5 for our characters again. And we actually don't get to play any more cards for us. That's kind of the penalty of moving forward. We can't play as many cards. And what you'll see me doing is all the shadow guys, they get to draw more cards and they get to refresh their hands. It's only the good guys who don't. So it gets harder for the good guys the longer and longer you keep on going. And you'll notice too, I was pointing at the sight counter. The Dunlin guys, now that we're at sight 3, they don't have that little penalty. They can be played for the exact cost of their card. So now I have 4 Dunlin guys to contend with. I didn't place any Goblin guys just because those Goblin cards kind of rely on having Golem out, or you can pull Golem from your deck. I don't really want to do that right now just because it's better to draw from your discard. Just that way you can reshuffle Golem in again and again and again. Anyway, let's see what combat we have here. My Oathbreaker kills that guy because he's stronger. So let's put him in the discard pile. He gets damaged, but that's fine. Doesn't really matter. And he'll just eventually come back to damage him again, but that doesn't really matter that much just because they're pretty strong. The dead people are, at least. Aragorn takes a damage here, but it's okay because we're actually at Site 3. Site 3 and 6 are what's known as sanctuary sites, so if you stay there over like the turn, if you stop moving, you actually get to heal there. So I'm not taking damage knowing that I'm going to get healed anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. You know, this guy fights again, that guy fights again, but I really just don't care, just because that damage I'm taking, I'm just going to heal it. I can heal up to 5, and I'm not going to be able to heal everybody, but it doesn't matter because I just care about Aragorn, really. And you'll see why I only care about Aragorn, because the Wraiths have a few abilities up their sleeves. And now that we're done with Aragorn's turn, we're going to Eowyn's turn. Yay, Eowyn. Here are my Rohirrim cards. At the moment, we'll play Éomer, because he is also a pretty cool guy. Éomer's ability lets me draw 10 cards and play whatever weapons I draw from that. I only happen to draw a spear, but we'll play that spear on Éomer, and I'll shuffle those cards into the deck later just because, you know, don't want to create any unnecessary time spent. We'll play some Merry Sword on Merry. Usually Merry's just like a kind of a weaker Hobbit character, and the Hobbit's strength come from having a lot of really fun cards that let you skip around and do like like stealth, and it's almost like they have little cheating abilities because they're hobbits and they're mischievous. This is like Rohirrim oriented Merry from The Return of the King. So he's actually a little stronger, just like there's a Gondorian Pippin that's also a little stronger. So I already have a dagger with him and his sword, so he's already racking up the strength. So Merry's actually going to be a pretty decent hitter in this campaign for me. But I got a lot of money to be spent. Looks like we're gonna play some Urukai, maybe not. Okay, we are. They can be a bit expensive for a while just because they're not gonna be, free until Site 5. Now we have Aragorn playing some Nazgul. Nazgul are honestly probably the best shadow. They're just really strong and they're really good at laying burdens down on Frodo. I just don't have a lot of Nazgul cards just because the best Nazgul cards were in the Fellowship of the Ring, and I was like 4 or 5 years old when that came out. I mean, I was 5 or 6 for the other movies, but I just don't have a lot of Nazgul cards, so kind of just doing the best I can. I just like to, you gotta realize this is a game that is kind of like pay to play in the sense that the better cards you have, the better odds you're gonna have, but honestly, if you just like Lord of the Rings, you're gonna like the game. So I've assigned the Urukai to Pippin, and I've assigned the Nazgul to Éomer. Just checking my card, because sometimes the abilities give you some bonuses that you forget about. It's hard to keep track of all your cards, much less keeping track of 4 characters as cards and 4 decks of cards at the same time, which you'll come to see I do make a few mistakes and a few retcons, hence why I am shifting stuff around already. It's kind of like chess, It's not over till you say it's over. So Éomer beats that guy. Merry will take some damage here, but that's okay. And he'll come back as fierce and damage Merry again, but yeah, that's okay. Merry's strong, Merry can take it, and I do have that Sanctuary site coming up, so generally the first turn it's kind of easy to get to Site 3 unless you like royally screw it up, just because you don't have very far to travel. And there's just, because everyone is more expensive because of the roaming costs early on, you generally don't have too much of bad guys being played on you. So now we'll have this other Nazgul come out. Hopefully he doesn't mess us up too bad. And this is our setup again. Let us assign what we can assign. Looks like I had to, his ability, I had to damage Frodo. Sometimes that happens. A lot of cards tend to target the ring bearer, which tends to be Frodo. There is a Bilbo card, there's a card that lets each individual Fellowship member be the ring bearer, but those are ultra rare and in a very exclusive pack, so generally Frodo's going to be your guy. But if you have Sam out, Sam actually lets you, here I am with retconning. I forgot, I would have played the mount earlier, but I wasn't paying attention, so realistically, the Urukai would have had to take a damage earlier from getting exerted from the mount, so Éomer would have killed them. Don't worry about it. Thumbs up. Anyway, that's not the first, just, how do I explain this? It's really hard to keep track of basically 8 decks, 4 good guys, 4 bad guys, and there's a lot of crap to keep track of, and it's hard to remember, okay, especially when you're filming. Anyway, the mount made that Nazgul exert, and then Éomer was stronger, so he killed that Nazgul because he only had 2 health. Now this guy's gonna go against Éowyn and fight her twice, so she'll just get killed, or not killed, but damaged. I'm gonna stay here and rest. Now, I initially think that this card lets you keep the ring and then throw the Nazgul away, but it actually lets you throw away the Nazgul and then keep the God, I got that rearranged. It lets you keep the Nazgul, okay? Anyway, we're on to Gandalf now. Gandalf is OP. I also got really lucky that I got a bunch of Gandalf cards right off the bat. So we're throwing on Gandalf's sword, as well as, Shadowfax, and Gandalf's staff. That'll be really good for him. I will put on this Int Draught as well that gives him more health, which Gandalf will need. This specific one because he takes a damage every time he moves, just because he is particularly strong. If you remember from my previous video, I really like this deck just because it's so funky, in the sense that this Gandalf is constantly dying, But I have cards in here that literally resurrect Gandalf and like let him gain strength from getting wailed on and from, basically getting targeted constantly. So it's kind of a fun deck for me. It's not the most efficient. In my test runs that I did while making it, I think this deck pretty much lost every time. Which, if you've already placed your bet on Gandalf, good luck. But also, I have won a few times, I think, with him. I know that's conflicting information, but I just love Gandalf. He's my boy. And I do have multiple Gandalf cards just because I do have cards like the one I just put there, sent back, which, if he dies, I'm allowed to play a wizard who is even in, oh god, I messed up, from my dead pile so I can play more Gandalfs. God, my narration's going a mile a minute too. Oh god, there's a lot to this game. Alright, now we're on my Golem stuff. I still don't think I play Golem, or maybe I just play a lesser Golem just to get some cards out of that hand. Oh, I do not. But I do play that Nazgul again from the Rohirrim conflict, just because I still have him. And then I play some Dunlin stuff over here, because Dunlin is pretty cool. And that isn't too much money, but it is kind of a lot, just because I have 2 cards on him. So he's a pretty strong dude. This is what I have to fight. This, I remember, was kind of obnoxious. Because, okay, first Gandalf takes his damage from moving sights, which he has to do. And I'm going to have Gandalf fight the Nazgul, because realistically Gandalf is stronger than the Nazgul, and would actually kill him outright with his damage bonuses. But, because Gandalf is mounted, that forces the Nazgul to take a wound, which, because of that means that because the Nazgul has this power called Enduring, every time he takes a damage, he gets stronger, which actually puts him above Gandalf, and Gandalf loses. It is so obnoxious. Anyway, with the fight with Frodo didn't have as much attack, so he got damaged, but I decided not to put on the One Ring yet, just because it's not really a good idea to rack up burdens this early in the game. Here I am realizing that Gandalf may or may not have screwed himself over, but, what can you do? It's early on, though. He'll get healed pretty soon. So Gandalf loses this fight, and will take another damage here. Come on, take that damage, Gandalf. Come on. I'm just in shock right now. Just in shock. Okay, here I go, finally, I admit. Gandalf. Not the best. Okay, so he comes back for more, for fierce. Oh wait, no, he's not fierce because he didn't have the little ability. But I move on, and Gandalf will take another damage because we're moving, but it's fine just because Gandalf is OP. Yeah, now I'm in trouble because now the Nazgul has a Felt Beast, which makes him stronger. Then we're gonna have more Dunlin guys, so I have a bit more to contend with here. If I remember correctly, Gandalf will face a bit of an early setback, but not the kind that you think. So we'll assign our guys. He will go there. Gandalf, still trying to figure out a way around this nonsense. I don't think I manage it. But that's okay. For context, that little blue ring, I only have 1 card, but I'm acting as if everyone has that blue ring. It gives you +2 health, and when you put on the ring, you get 2 extra strength, instead of the usual stuff everyone else gets. So Frodo's fine, he survives. Gandalf obliterates the other guy. He actually gets overwhelmed and dies. The reason why, and he goes into the death pile. The reason I didn't have a go on Gandalf is because he actually would have killed Gandalf, and I don't want him to die that early, because he would go on him twice, and would be enough to, basically kill him outright. This way he'll only take 1 damage and stay alive, so that's all fine. We'll stay here and we'll heal up next turn. Alright, now the first turn for the dwarves, and we'll finally use some of our cards so we can clear up our hand. We'll use these 2 dwarven cards. They're super cheap and have really poor stats. The reason why you use cards like this, or you can, there's a lot of strategies to this game, is they're kind of like meat shields. You don't really invest much in them, but if you just need people to take up space, basically, you put them on. Or if you need people to take up space, you just put them there and you let, you let the Nazgul wail on them, or the Balrog eat them up. Don't put them on Gimli. You keep Gimli alive, and we're going to do so by giving him armor, which makes it so that he can't be overwhelmed unless his strength is tripled, and give him a helmet, his helmet specifically, so that it can negate lots of damage for him later on, like a one-time usage thing. We have our 5 characters. We add for our sight. We are moving on to the next area, and we'll see what we have to contend with for the dwarves. Oh, more Nazgul. They'll take some damage, but yeah, that's fine. He's fierce. Take some more damage. Oh well. I have plenty of health, don't I? And that was pretty simple, so we'll just move on to the next site anyway. We'll see what we have to contend with. More tokens. 5 tokens for the dwarves. Okay, we got some more guys, a little Morgul orc. My Nazgul deck, because I don't have all Nazgul, I just don't have that many Nazgul cards. I have a lot of just plain Morgul orcs from the Return of the King. I just like the card design of the Nazgul race better. I like that black sort of design. It's better than like the regular Mordor, just kind of bright, obnoxious red, but that's just me. I'm a man of aesthetics. Because of that guy's ability, he gets 2 archer wounds, and I'm just delegating where to put them right now. Put him on Frodo. Or maybe just 1. Oh, no, I put 1 on the dwarf guy. We'll have Gimli go against that guy, because Gimli will stomp him into the ground. And we'll have the Nazgul go over there and just see, we're already using our sacrificial lamb. Just get rid of him to basically save my other dwarf from getting killed and to save Frodo from being overwhelmed. So he's got out of the combat temporarily. Gimli will kill that guy, beat him, and then we'll have the Nazgul go against Gimli. Gimli will just take 1 damage. And you know what? Remember, we're at a sanctuary, so we'll just heal up. Speaking of healing, now we'll heal Aragorn for Aragorn's 2nd turn. Yeah, Aragorn. And Aragorn's ability, which I definitely don't forget about, lets him heal 1 character with an Aragorn signet. The signet's from the bottom left of the card. All the wraiths have Aragorn signets, so he's pretty useful to use with this. Now we're going to use this special card right here, which is kind of the key to this deck. This card allows us to, well, for one, we add a threat every time we move. Now threats are pretty bad. We added threats just for playing our wraith guys, and what the threats basically do is, if someone dies, all the threats that you have get released from the card. It's not very good. You don't want the threats to get released because it can kind of insta-kill your team if you have a lot of threats. But the sort of risk-reward of this card is, yes, you're mounting a lot of threats for it, but wraiths that are exhausted, which means that they're 1 health away from dying, cannot take any more wounds. So basically, you can have your wraiths all at 1 health and keep assigning bad guys to them, and as long as they are not overwhelmed, they actually cannot die. So they would take a wound that they can't actually take every turn, and they'll just stay there because they're undead. The only caveat is if any of them ever is overwhelmed, then you basically have a cascade of nonsense that cannot be assigned to them, can only be assigned at this point to Aragorn and Frodo, in which case you instantly die. So, at this point, now with my Aragorn team, I am basically on this gamble that I need to make sure that everyone, if it's like a hard enemy to go against Aragorn, because Aragorn can afford to have a little higher strength and not to get overwhelmed, but like the other guys, as long as they don't get overwhelmed, they'll stay there. So you'll see he'll just take damage, but he can't take any more. And we're just gonna keep moving on. If that makes you change your bet to bet on Aragorn, feel free. Aragorn is pretty strong, and honestly, it's a fun deck. I like these little fun combinations of like, it's not just put your guy here, put your guy there, hope for the best. It's, yeah, basically this gamble that, kind of like the Gandalf deck, this Aragorn deck is a gamble that your character basically won't explode. Your guys won't explode from this nonsense of threat gambling, just as much as Gandalf's deck is a gamble of hoping that Gandalf doesn't die, or that if he dies, you can just resurrect him again over and over and over. So, we're gathering threats. We should have a few more threats on there actually from playing the Oathbreakers, but trust me, we'll take into account later when we actually have plenty of threats on there. I'll remember eventually. Now, I took the Balrog out because the Bridge of Khazad-dûm area lets us play the Balrog from our deck. The problem is, in order to play the Balrog, you need to be able to spot a Goblin minion, which I can't. I have a Goblin minion in my hand, but he's too expensive to play him and the Balrog at the same time. So Aragorn gets to squeak away scot-free from the Balrog, which then pisses me off because I'm like, oh my god, I love playing the Balrog. I even have these cards that let me change the site to the Balrog site if someone else has it. I even have that card in play, but I literally can't do it just because of an inconvenience. So again, Aragorn skirts by, and I decide to play Golem again just to get some cards out of my hand. Finally realizing that I probably should, just so I can play the Balrog on later people. So here we are, we have 4 guys to fight, it looks like. And let us assign them here. Sometimes you gotta just think through what you want to do. Yeah, see, I can play my archer guy, but I don't have anything else to play the Balrog. But we will shoot an arrow at them, and I guess we'll assign it to Frodo. So where will we go? Where will we go? Let's put this guy on this guy who's already damaged. Put him there. Now put Gollum on Frodo. Okay. Go through. Resolve all our combat. See, he doesn't take damage because he has that deal. He'll take 2 damage, but now he can't take any more just because, basically, he's safe now unless he gets overwhelmed. And now that guy will continue fighting on. So some guys will die, some guys will live, and you know what? Aragorn will decide to continue on, because frankly this is kind of manageable with as many guys as I have in my fighting force. They all may be pretty bloodied up, but you know what? We're gonna go going on. I keep track, I forgot, I think more threats, so we'll put that on, and we're gonna go to the next site, and it looks like we're gonna be playing from the character on our left, so Eowyn's 6th site, which is a sanctuary. I just want to get to the next checkpoint and kind of want to have Aragorn outrun some of the other people, because usually it's a good idea to move 2 sites a turn, just because you want to have as many turns as possible. But if Aragorn can leap ahead, that'll give him an advantage getting to Mount Doom first. So now we have even more guys to fight. So this may be an issue. Goblin Runner, he costs 1, but he adds 2, so it's kind of fun to play. Too bad we can't play the Balrog anymore, just because he can only be played in underground sites, of which we are not currently on, alas. But now we have this team of misfits to fight, which actually is about the same as last time, and keep in mind, now our wraiths are strong enough that they don't have to worry about getting attacked like they would before, getting damaged and killed like they would before. So we'll just have the archer go on Frodo again, because, you know, Frodo kind of becomes an arrow pin cushion sometimes, just because he usually doesn't get attacked that much, and he's better to save your other guys. Assign some more dudes. God, how do I just repeat the same stuff over and over again for another hour? It's a long video, man. Or woman, whoever's watching. Anyway, he dies or gets damaged. Doesn't really matter. I can't move on anymore. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know, just too strong. Doesn't matter. Aragorn kills this dude, but doesn't matter. Now there's two guys on Frodo, so it's enough that Frodo's not going to get overwhelmed, but he will take more damage. I'll realize that I didn't want to have as much damage on him, so I'll reassign my arrows to Aragorn real quick, just because I know that I'm going to take 2 damage from these guys, because there's 2 guys on him, so that's 2 damage total. Once again, a lot of retconning in this as I kind of struggle to keep track of numerous decks and whatnot. If you were just playing, you know, each person to a deck, you'd be fine, and I decided to move on. And now we are on the Rohirrim deck on Eowyn. We will heal from our sanctuary. If you've made it this far, congratulations. I'd love to honestly even hear like a real-time comment down below of like at what time you're betting on which character to win. I know I kind of joked before, like some are stronger than others, but like I made 8 decks, and I even had like a tournament between all 8 of my decks, and these 4 came out as you know, the top 4. So these are the 4 I wanted to use, of course, and these are my 4 favorites, of course, you know, coincidentally, because it's the Wraiths and the Nazgul, Gimli and the Goblins, Rohan and the Dunlanders, and then Magic Gandalf and his Ind buddies and the Uruk-hai. And honestly, all 4, you know, by fact of them making it this far in the tournament, they're pretty good. So don't worry if, you know, if say you bet on Aragorn and, or if you bet on like Aragorn looks like he's winning, but you bet on Eowyn, because Eowyn can come through it. We have some more Gollum stuff we're going to be playing on. Have some Nazgul orcs we're going to be playing on, 2 of them to be precise. Wishing I had more Nazgul cards in the Fellowship of the Ring. Fun fact, way back when we actually played this game, my dad realized that it was cheaper to go on eBay and to buy specific cards we were looking for or wanted, as opposed to buying a bunch of booster packs and hoping you got them. So he would actually buy a lot of his cards just direct on eBay. I don't know how much he paid for them, hopefully not a lot, to be honest. But just thinking about that, I looked up this game on eBay again, and it's weird that people still buy this. You know, people still evidently play this or collect this. I guess I don't know why you would collect this, just because, like, what more value can these gain? You know, it's just a card game, basically. But there are, like, you know, you could buy a box of booster packs for like $200, or one was like, you know, buy it was like 15 Fellowship of the Ring booster packs for $75, and I was like, well, that's kind of expensive. But then again, I'm like, wow, that's $2024 for a 2002 product, 2001 product. And when you think about it that way, it's probably like, you know, like 20 or 30 bucks, and money from 20 years ago, the way that inflation has been in America. And it's actually probably not that bad, considering I think an individual booster pack bet that was like three or $4. So I guess it's a fair price. I mean, once again, I don't know who's buying this kind of stuff. I was kind of tempted to buy some packs, to be honest, because I'm a nerd. But then I was like, okay, you'll probably just run into the same problem your dad did, and you won't get anything you want. And the one card you do want, like, you know, it's not going to be in there. You have a bunch of like useless crap. But I guess it'd be fun to, you know, I don't know, maybe do a card opening video like people do with Pokemon cards. I don't know, we'll see someday. If anyone wants to send me their $200 trading card pack, that'd be pretty sweet. I'll do a video on it. I'll give you a big old shout out. Anyway, keeping track of the video, looks like we have some Nazgul fighting us. You'll notice that as an Elvish Nazgul, a Tengwar Nazgul, that was only available in the Lord of the Rings anthology boxes. But I do have the translations of that on my phone, so I am playing honestly. I'm not looking up what the actual stats say. I'm not just, making them up or, pretending that I can actually understand Elvish. Figuring out who to assign them to. Mary, once again, has even more stuff now. Now he has the Horn of Rohan, I think. Yep. He's a strong little guy. God, I am gonna... It's weird because not only can you buy, like, whole sets and whole boxes, you can buy, like, every card in the Reflection set, which was, like, the ultra rare. The set that had ultra rares, that had, like, Tom Bombadil and Bilbo and all these, like, really special cards, and it was, like, $500 for all of them. It's just like, wow. But realistically, that probably is accurate because those Reflection packs had, like, double or triple the amount of cards in them, and they were worth, they're like $10 to buy. And if you have all of them, because there's only like 30 or so Reflection cards, you only get like 1 or 2 a pack. It probably did mean a lot, to get everything. Anyway, now we'll have our guys fight. I will, of course, probably forget some rules, but like right now, the Nazgul should exert. Hopefully I remember in a second. I think I do. Oh my god, do I really not remember? Please, Amir, exert that guy. Exert him. Oh my god, I forget. Oh, no, I do. That's fine. I got him. I'll use the helm to... Oh, no, I don't, because the helm prevents me from being overwhelmed or something. But then he can exert to stop it. A different exertation. Come on, Bryce. Come on. That's okay. It doesn't really matter that much. It's not like I can kill him anyway. I'll rearrange some stuff. Mary will kill that guy. Aemon will take some damage, but that'll be okay. Yeah, I'll play an extra card on her, like an event card to make her stronger so she doesn't die. Tis be fine. Yeah. That's okay. Oh, I think I remember my exert. Finally. Nice. Fierce. I'll take another damage, but it's okay, I live. I think what side are we on again? Do I decide to say? I might. Yep. And I didn't get to play the Balrog on him either because once again, not enough goblin shit. Spoiler alert, we will fittingly enough get to play the Balrog on Gandalf. So we'll play some new cards. We drew a Sam. Sam is useful because if Frodo ever dies, then Sam can become the ring bearer. Frodo's burden resistance is 10 and Sam's is only 5, but still it's nice to have a little bonus, if you will. We will put our int down and we'll give him a bonus to make him stronger. His bonuses are nice. Definitely not going to be a sacrificial lamb. This Sam in particular actually works pretty well for that because you can exert him to make him defender +1, which allows you to take more people, to fight more people at once. I rearranged my Sanctuary Healing there to have 1 damage on Gandalf and then take that off with my other Gandalf card. Placing a lot of conditions out to basically help set up Gandalf for the future. Keeping track of all my costs and whatnot. Guess what? I can actually play the Balrog now. I have enough cards. So we're gonna save it so that because we can't quite play him just because it's not Wizard Cast of Doom yet, but I should have enough stuff out because look, I got some goblin archers and give him a spear, make him stronger. So Gandalf looks like he might be in trouble. Big trouble. But remember, Gandalf in particular is OP as hell. Oh, there's a Nazgul in the field, the Nazgul. Yeah, this is gonna be a bloodbath, you could say. And that's the good Gollum too. That Gollum, if he wins fights, he puts on burdens on Frodo. Or maybe just puts on burdens to restart, I forget. We'll see if I do it in the video. But I do remember that he is 1 point stronger in strength for every burden on Frodo. So he just sort of starts to snowball and cascade and get stronger and stronger. We'll put our arrows on the end because it's not looking good for him anyway. Alright, we'll put some damage on Gandalf for moving. And we'll assign the archer there. He gets exerted. We'll put the baby archer on Frodo, which it looks like these might get killed, so I actually couldn't play the Balrog. No, I already gave it away. I do draw more goblins. Play the Nazgul. Where should we play him? Probably on good old Ent. And we'll place Gollum on Sam. So I'll go down the line. Frodo kills this guy. Gandalf kills this guy. Sam gets hurt, which means that Frodo has to put on a burden. That's not the end of the world. So now Gollum is 1 point stronger, and then the End gets hurt. We're moving on to the Bridge of Khazad-dûm. If I remember which token to grab. So, how's everybody doing today? There is the hinted at goblin. Coincidentally, the best goblin to draw, the one that gives me more points. I am now playing the Balrog, Flame of Udun, upon Gandalf and his merry team, which will pretty much take up the rest of the points. Because he's strong AF. Damage +1, like a 17 attack. He just pushes people shit in. I'll play another ring on our buddy, which will cause Frodo to have to take a damage for some reason, I forget. And we get some more Dunlin guys too. It's really not looking good, is it? Yeah, so we got plenty of guys to end up fighting our team. So not everyone's going to come out alive, are they? Well, Sam is going to exert, so he becomes Defender +1, so he can fight more than a few guys. He's going to take the Balrog with him, and take the Nazgul with him, so yeah, Sam's going to get raffle stomped here. Well, I have the Dunlin guys. I think go on Gandalf, and then one on the Ent, and then that will leave the last two for Frodo. But Frodo will be strong enough. Tis fine. So we'll go down the line. Frodo gets double damaged, but he's not overwhelmed. Or no, I put on my ring, so I just get burdened, I think. Oh, no, I get damaged. That's fine, though. He's strong enough. Dunlin guy gets killed. Dunlin guy gets killed. Yeah, bye, Sam. Poor guy. It's okay, he served his purpose. To the dead pie with you. And now, guess what? Surprise, surprise. The Balrog is gonna kill this Ent who's about to die. And Gandalf is spared. Yay, Gandalf. I could continue on because I would lose the Balrog anyway, but I still got other people to contend with, so I'll just stay. Now we go on to the dwarves. Dwarves' second turn, and they get to heal up. Hopefully play some dwarven cards. We'll play some axes on them. Axes are good. They make you a little stronger. weird just watching this over and over again, you know. Like, I had to watch it to edit it down. So believe it or not, this is edited down. And then I'm watching it again, so I can have the commentary over it. It just feels weird, you know. But that's okay. I'll do it for you guys, and for you, Rufus, my little dog. And Baldy, of course. Looks like we got some of the ever-present Nazgul we will play. They're a bit pricey, but generally worth it because they can do a lot of damage or burden corruption work. There you go. There you go. So just one guy it looks like so far. He exerts to get rid of one of Gimli's weapons. That kind of sucks. But he'll use axe strikes to make it so he doesn't die or get hurt. And will end up damaging him and actually killing him because Gimli is damage +1. So joke's on you, Nazgul. We'll move on to Khazad-dûm, but we of course are safe because the Balrog comes from our deck, so obviously no one's going to play it on us. Unless you're a real jerk and you just have the Balrog stashed in your deck. The Witch King comes out. Oh, drawing, but we'll just play 2 more Nazgul, it looks like. They're not super rough. Just end up placing them on our dwarven buddies. Place them there. I think I'm remembering my helm and that I can use it to not take damage, which may be coming in handy here. Let's see what I do. Yeah, he'll take some damage, I think. I don't know if I want to spend my cards on this. See, they'll each take damage, and he'll take his damage from Fierce. And if I remember right, I decide to move on. Because dwarves are pretty hardy. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're moving on to the next. So it looks like Gimli and Aragorn have made the bold moves to go three sight changes instead of the normal 2 that the others went. We'll see if this gamble pays off. Because Gimli, who went last, may be able to leap ahead. If he went 3 times next round as well, he would win. Oh, but that Nazgul and Frodo, that Nazgul there. The Dunlin guy's there. Because, I just don't want my other dwarven guy to get totally killed. We'll use, that ability that lets me put, I think, some wounds on guys. Something like that. Oh, no, they may give me more damage. I don't know. But I got rid of him. This dwarven guy will get killed here, but that was his purpose all along. And Frodo does not get overwhelmed, just takes damage. Or a burden, we will see. Regardless, Frodo is fine. Or maybe I rearrange it. Oh god, you're so confusing, Bryce. What are you doing? Yeah, he just takes a burden. He's fine. Because the ring lets me put on 2 strength. And then that card lets it that I can't be overwhelmed with my strength is triple. That's one of those pesky Hobbit cards. So Frodo is fine. Now we just have the Fierce to contend with. So he'll go there. He'll take a damage. And he'll go... Here, I think I'm plotting. Alright, I think I decided to retcon it just a bit and use my helmet finally to have prevented that damage. That way I can redo how I allocate my guys, because otherwise my other dwarven buddy, who isn't Gimli, would die. Then I can put him first fierce skirmish on Gimli, and Gimli lives. And that way my other guy lives as well. So, I'm okay. Alright, Aragorn, 3rd turn. Let us follow where the arrow goes. after we do our sanctuary healing, because we are at the 6th location. We can now finally play our Host of the Dead, because we have at least 2 exhausted wraiths. I do have to add more threats for playing him, but that'll be okay just because he is very strong. And we have the max cap now of our 6 characters to be out at once. You can't have any more than 6 characters. And you can't draw any more than 4 cards a turn. I kind of do a little house rule for that in terms of when someone dies of the 4, I let whoever died refresh their hand every draw period just to get more bad guy cards to play on the other people who are still alive, just to make it interesting. Otherwise you could potentially have it like, say somebody dies, and then all their new cards they draw are like good guy cards, and then it's like, oh, it's like they're just useless and they can't even play the game anymore. Because I guess technically the game ends once someone dies, but then it's like, okay, if you're playing a 4-player game and someone dies, like at site, 5, and the game's just over and nobody wins, which is kind of, is kind of lame. I have to exert Aragorn because of and this guy as well, because you have to exert people who are not Rohirrim men who are unbound, which means like Frodo was ring-bound, so he can't be exerted. That's just Sight's ability. Sometimes Sights have obnoxious little abilities like that, but of course Rohan will be fine, because that comes from the Rohan deck. God, what else? Yeah, in terms of like house ruling it too, you'll kind of come to see that there's a lot of weird RNG, random number generator. It's a video game term, which basically means luck. There's a weird amount of luck to this game in the sense of like, okay, like I couldn't play the Balrog from the Dwarven deck 2 people in a row. I happened to, for Aragorn, draw the Wraiths right away and draw that card right away to be strong. For Gandalf, I drew that sent back card right away. It is kind of like, of course, having a smaller, more compact deck with more rare cards and a higher density of rare cards will better serve you. But sometimes it is kind of just like, yeah, if you don't have the heart of the cards, like Yu-Gi-Oh says, right? You just kind of get screwed sometimes. Which, spoiler alert, but hey, if you're watching this far, then you're one of my greatest fans, so you can have a little tease, I guess. The ending of this, there is a bit of an upset just because of RNG, just because of this random little thing that's like, oh well, I guess they win, It's fun. You'll like it, hopefully, or you'll be really pissed that you watched an hour and a half video to kind of get a whimper of an ending. But hey, sometimes that happens. That's a Lord of the Rings, baby. I think we're gonna have to move on just because, they're basically protected from this card that keeps massing threats. So not very good. Not very good at all. Let us see where we go next. Site 8. Now we really get like, you'll see it has like 9, I think, Twilight tokens. Like they're getting a lot to be added. It is getting more and more dangerous to be in Middle-earth, let me tell you. So add more tokens. And then we have all, 6 guys. That's 6 more tokens. So hopefully we'll be okay. Alright, we're taking away Sunny, taking away money to count what we got. More Dunlington guys. Yeah, it's not looking good for Aragorn. That's the gamble. You keep moving on. You keep wanting to go fast. Then you just keep compiling more Twilight tokens and you don't have any chance to play more good guy cards, so there's more of a risk. And now guess what? 2 more dudes. We'll see if Aragorn's Wraith and Threat gamble can pull us through here. Hopefully I want to see everybody succeed. I don't, it's not fun to watch your hard-earned, your hard-thought decks crumble before you. But we're gonna have a bit of a mess, aren't we? That archer will exert to assign their archery wound specific to Aragorn, just to soften Aragorn up, because he can't assign him to there. If Aragorn dies, a lot of this falls apart just because Aragorn has a lot of control with the cards that come out. So we're going to be targeting Aragorn especially. He'll go there on Frodo because he's weak. Now, how do we assign stuff? We want to make sure that our wraiths do not get overwhelmed. Come on, Bryce, make a decision, you bastard. Alright, we'll go there with him. And there. And there. And maybe there. Maybe. Okay, we'll do a little shifting. And we'll go there. Because he's defender +1. And we'll go there. Okay, now we're good. Alright, let's go down the line with all the crap we gotta deal with. Alright, Frodo. Frodo is fine. Frodo's okay. Aragorn is fine. Just because I think I have to play a card to make Aragorn stronger, but I got a few. And I want to make sure I don't go below initiative, because my Wraith card only works if I have initiative. So I'll be careful not to play any more cards. They all don't matter because none of them are strong enough to overwhelm my guys. Not even the two over here, just because two guys over there are weak. The king actually kills that guy, so that's even better. So we survive. Yeah. Woohoo. I think we'll decide to stay here because I just don't want to push my luck with more people getting, assigned, because they will get to a point where I'll run out of defenders and they'll all get assigned to Frodo and he'll get overwhelmed. So we go on. Wait, just kidding. Bryce forgot about something. What's this? There were Dunlin cards. Dunlin cards to be had. So I reassigned it as best as I remembered at the time. I think I got it right. But because of the Dunlin cards, I can make the Dunlin guys stronger, which I think I'll do. In which case, that's normal. But I'm trying to make this other guy, this Dunlin guy on this Wraith, trying to make them stronger so they can do an overwhelming attack. Alright, come on, put the card in frame, Bryce, you dirty dog. I think he's still fine. It's the other guy. Oh no, here we go. So this card now makes him strong enough to overwhelm and kill this Wraith and break my Wraith thing. So Aragorn has to pull in and do that thing to prevent him. And it may not seem like much, but that put one more wound on Aragorn. So Aragorn is one away from dying. And keep in mind, he can't heal anymore because he's at the 8th site. There's no more sanctuaries. So that may not seem like much, but that's actually pretty important. Yeah. So I'll have assigned him over there, I guess, for a fierce thing, or dead, or who knows. But just wanted to have that redo of realizing I think I forgot that card, and that card did make a difference. It forced Aragorn to lose his good card and to take another damage. So they're on the brink. They only have one turn left on site 9, but they're on the brink. Anyway, now we're on Eowyn and Rohan. We use my symbol main to draw a character from the deck. We will be drawing Theoden, because Theoden is, he's a badass. We'll draw Sam as well. This Sam is strength +1 for each other Hobbit character. So there's a bunch of Hobbits out. He's super strong, but in this case he's just a 4 strength because I only spot Frodo. But that's okay. I mean, sometimes you just need a Samwise out just to be a pincushion. That's kind of his purpose. Oh god, is that a cave troll I spot? It sure is. Cave troll like the Balrog requires someone else to be on the field first, but I was able to do that with my other goblins. So we will have a grand old fight. We will probably have the cave troll on Theoden because Theoden is used to dying. Sorry, spoiler alert for the books and the movies if you've never read or watched them. Yeah, Theoden does. He dies in the third film. Hence this particular Theoden's special ability that when he does die, you can play a character from the draw deck. Anyway, Merry is just OP, so he's gonna take that big old goblin. He'll be fine. Frodo actually kills that guy, and then Theoden loses the fight. But he doesn't get overwhelmed, he just loses, so he'll just take 2 damage from the first assault. But guess what? The troll is fierce, so the troll will be coming back for more. And the troll will get Theoden on his second attack. Sorry, troll. Theoden has to pay the official troll toll right here in action. Reading his card to double check that. Yes, I can indeed draw a new character. And I will. I'll pick Harethel, the random villager guy. Okay, we're good to go. And you know what? We'll stay where we're at, I think, just because the troll is badass. And we're at a sanctuary. Just kidding again. I forgot that my little special cards make the troll stronger because he's a unique enemy. So guess what? Even with that bonus card, Theoden died. First round he was overwhelmed, which means his second fierce attack comes. So he gets to attack another buddy. So guess what? He kills Harethel too. But that's okay. Because Eowyn and Aemir are okay. Alright, Gandalf, woohoo. Alright, we about to make Gandalf OP. We're gonna put all the conditions on the world under Gandalf to make him as strong as possible. Base, let him draw more cards, heal, do his magical nonsense, etc. We are going to put Quick Beam out. The ends can be pretty good. If you get like the right order of cards on the ends, this time I didn't get particularly lucky in that I could draw the right ones in the right order. So they weren't as strong this time. I will admit my Gandalf deck is a struggle in just a tad, but don't count him out this time. Because Gandalf in this game, like in the Lord of the Rings itself, is full of surprises. Alright, we'll put on more stuff. We will decide to put on Quick Beam. And we will progress. Only got 3 guys, so our Twilight pool is pretty low, all things considering. And we'll go to that next area. And we will see what we have to contend with. Uh-oh, bunches of goblins and another cave troll. Oh my god. That's the Elvish cave troll. I will quickly check my English cave troll just so I don't have to double check my phone. I just don't like being on my phone that much. We'll see who we gotta fight now. Lots and lots and lots of goblins. Goblins are always a fun little thing to fight. Anybody else want to join? Anybody else? Nah, we're okay. I think. I'll see. Come on, Bryce, move the camera. Bryce, please. Okay, that's why. That's why. I knew I had something. So here we are, the cave troll yet again. So Gandalf really is getting laid into in this game. He's getting attacked by the cave troll and the Balrog back to back. Cave troll will go against Gandalf because Gandalf is once again pretty strong. He will get exerted from Shadowfax from the mount. So 1 damage just for moving, 1 damage for the exertion. See how much health he has because it might be important. What are you looking at, Bryce? Come on, come on. Well, you'll notice one of Gandalf's cards lets him exert to become a damage +1 again, which would give him damage enough to, wait, what's this? His normal damage +1 plus his sword damage +1 would make him damage +3, which would let him do 4 damage. That would kill the 5 health cave troll. Oh my god, is Gandalf gonna kill the cave troll? Because Gandalf is, like I said, strong AF. Let's see. Let's see. we're gonna use, I think I have to use a spell down here. Or I'll just kill a goblin right off. Kill him right off. Cave Troll versus Gandalf. Let us see who will go, go, go. Come on, you know it, Bryce. You know what to do. Kill him. Kill him. Or just stay frozen in time. That's alright too. God, edited for your enjoyment, huh? There we go. Had to read the cards. We'll use this card to make Gandalf stronger for every wound he has on him, which is pretty good. Or to wound the cave troll, maybe. You know, I really don't know what's happening here. All I know is I'm using some combination of cards. Wait, what? Gandalf lost. How did he lose? What? I thought I guess Quick Beam's getting killed. Whatever. Maybe I got my hopes up. I swear Gandalf was strong enough to kill him. Whatever. It's fine. He can heal in the sanctuary. Trust me, Gandalf will make it out okay. He'll heal the sanctuary. And we'll continue on to the dwarves, it appears. Hell yeah, dwarves. Doesn't have a lot of good guy cards, so we'll be limping through these next few battles. And I'll have to exert just because Rohan is not present here, and because that site really sucks, but that's okay. The dwarves are sturdy, they'll be fine, they'll be fine. Or they won't be, who knows? I know, but you don't. There's still 20 minutes left. Some basic bitch orcs get assigned. It's actually not too bad because there's only 2 like regular ass orcs. So these dwarves will pretty much tear them up. Not too worried. Yeah, he'll win. And then I think Gimli will take this guy to task over here, use his axe strike. He'll get rid of this guy. Alright, I guess we're moving on. Will the dwarves be able to? Actually, am I considering not moving on? Oh my god, we're staying. Because they're damaged, so that's okay. This is Aragorn's problem now. This is Aragorn's last turn. He is going to be at Site 9. So, if Aragorn can do this, he can win the game. And you know what? It's not a spoiler because there's long enough in the video left that this could feasibly, it's going to be a complicated ass turn, as well as I'll have to have a recap. So maybe Aragorn wins it right here. Let's see. Let's see. Come on, Aragorn. You undead army motherfucker. You can do it. I got some cards to help me out. I have initiative, so my race still can't die at the moment. Let's go. Now at this point, you'll see me kind of try different combinations of cards against him, because at this point, the other 3 people would be coordinating with each other. Hey, we gotta stop this guy from winning. So what cards do you have? What cards do I have? That's something me and my family always did, me and my brother and my dad, to see, hey, I might be playing the bad guys first, but if you have better bad guys, I want you to use up the thing. Because in a way, you are working together to kill the current good guy. Because right now, I'm like, wait a second. Maybe there's something else we could do. I don't know. Do we want to do Dunland? Because remember, the dwarves over there have Shelob, so we might be putting some stuff back. What do we have over here? We have Shelob and some goblins. Shelob is pretty strong. You don't want to mess with Shelob. So we'll try out. Maybe this is what we want to do. And maybe we want to add some goblins as well. And we have maybe Gollum to come out. This is the last turn, so we better make it count. Okay. Maybe going with this route. Let's see. This will be a long turn, let me tell you, just because there's a lot of crap to go through. So we have 3 wounds, 3 archer wounds, and this is what's important, because they can't go on the Wraith, they can't go on Aragorn because he'll die, so they have to go on Frodo. This is why that's important. So we'll forsake Shelob to get some more points back. That way we can get some more Dunlin guys. We'll put that down there. Or we'll put that back in our hand, we'll say. We got our 3 whatsits. We can't put them on there. Can't put them on Aragorn. The threats are super high. So we'll put him on Frodo. Frodo does have 2 more health because he does have, like I said earlier, he does have the blue ring on. I just only have 1 copy of the blue ring, just to make it fair. Give all the Frodos the same ring. So he does have a little more health left, but not much. Not much at all. Now, was that the best course of action, or was there something else we should be doing? There might be something else. Instead of setting up his tent for later, let's take those back. Let us put Shelob in. We'll get rid of the card we set up for later. We'll put Shelob in. What are we doing? There's so many combinations. There's such a puzzle to have to figure out how to kill this guy. So Shelob's back in. 2 goblins. Shelob might be able to get somebody. We'll see. Oh no, I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can. They'll lose. Shelob would go there. I need a drink of water here. I'm dying. It's almost like whispering for an hour and a half. Hurts your throat. I just wanted to, the past few turns, I kind of just edited my minion selecting process. I wanted to keep this one in to show you how much back and forth there is when you have a turn of this stakes, just because you really do want to make sure you have the best combination, like a puzzle, to try to attack and beat your character, the enemy character. Doesn't really matter early on, just because early on you don't have as much to work with. But when you're in the last turn and you have that much Twilight in your pool, there really are a dozen combinations to go through. And I picked this one because with that card, with these bonuses to these guys, there is a potential to overwhelm somebody. How will we do it? Oh gosh. We'll put him there. We'll put him there. Now we'll put him there. Oh God, what are we doing? Because we don't want the race to get overwhelmed. And I wouldn't know that I have that card in the back. At least Aragorn wouldn't, but Dunlin is. So, I would have assigned him to Oathbreaker to there with the bonus card that I didn't know about, because I don't know what Dunlin has in their hand. Aragorn's guy would have died, would have been overwhelmed, and the threats get carried out, and the threats go boom, 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 boom down the line, killing all of them. And guess what, though? Frodo doesn't get killed because he has enough room with his health. He is still alive. Everyone else dies, but Frodo lives with 1 more HP. He's okay. He's okay. Aragorn wins. And look at this game board that we have. Look at this. Oh, double checking the site to make sure we're still good, that there were no little rules at the end. Oh wait, he's fierce. He's fierce or something. Let's see. He got an extra damage on it for some reason. Guess what? It doesn't matter. Oh no. He's on Frodo. He's on Frodo. Frodo dies. Does he die? No, he burdens, and he's fine again. It's okay. It is okay. Aragorn won. Aragorn won. Luck upon our works, ye mighty, and despair that Aragorn won. Just kidding. He did not. I remember the card, and because the card is still active, these guys cannot take damage, and it all goes to Frodo. So no, Frodo explodes. Frodo's dead. The game is still on. Let us go to Eowyn's turn. Hopefully I narrated that compelling enough for you to care that. I don't know. If you made it with me an hour and 15 minutes, you're already used to my eccentricities. So anyway, Aragorn's dead. And now, like I mentioned earlier, we'll just be playing bad guy cards from Aragorn's deck just to make it a little more interesting. Play another copy of Simple Main to get a Rohirrim possession or character. We'll get Eowyn's sword on Eowyn. Make her a bit stronger. We're gonna need it, let me tell you. Going on to the next site. And we don't have to exert because we are Rohirrim. We are the Rohan team, so we're okay. We will just add some more Twilight tokens. We got our Twilight team, the archers who we're going to put on Aragorn. Now they're going on Rohan. They'll do some archery damage, but it's okay. We have plenty of pin cushions. So they'll get assigned, and honestly, everyone here is pretty strong. You'll get exerted because of mounts, and they'll get killed because of Aramir's damage. +1. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Wow, clean sweep. That's the problem with goblins sometimes. You can swarm them because they're pretty cheap, but a lot of times if they're weak and if the good guys have enough guys, you can't swarm them too much, they just get demolished. So we will go on to the next round. Totally okay. Can Eowyn pull victory from the clutches of Aragorn's defeat? Not if Shelob has her say. Aragorn will play the Witch King, this particular Witch King, because he gives bonuses against men, makes it so that weapons do not count. Men specifically, not dwarves or elves, just men, which the Rohirrim are. Well, I guess except for Merry. We will see who must suffer. Shelob, keep in mind, is enduring, so every damage that goes on Shelob, she gets 2 strength stronger. And we do indeed put the Witch King on Merry because Merry is immune from the Witch King's ability. Thus, Merry only takes 1 damage from losing the battle and doesn't get totally stomped or overwhelmed like the others would. Merry is fine, yay. See, Witch King's not so bad. Now Shelob will go against Éomer. And uh-oh, this is where the mounts and having mounts gets kind of irritating because she gets exerted. She takes damage from Éomer's deal, and then ends up fighting Éomer and damaging him. But then, because Shelob is fierce, she comes back and gets attacked again via Éomer's mount, so she gets even stronger. So now, Shelob has enough strength to overwhelm basically 2 people. So I decide to have Éowyn stay where she's at. Because the Witch King's not much of a problem, but Shelob is, in addition to whoever else would come up. So that would definitely be Shelob killing Éomer and Éowyn. The Witch King would take on Merry, and then everyone else would go on Frodo, so not a very good idea to stay. Alright, we will have Gandalf move on. Get some more Gandalf stuff out. Hopefully, he will be okay. And guess what? We're coming to the end of the video. And I said before, Gandalf has a lot of bullshit nonsense up his sleeve. So will Gandalf be able to pull it out? Will he fight another copy of the Witch King? He sure will. And take more damage for moving and whatnot? He sure will. Alright, everyone is assigned set. Even Frodo has a buddy to play with. That shouldn't matter though, because Frodo kills him outright. The Ents do their fight. I think they lose, but it's okay. They're just Ents. They don't really matter that much. They'll take some damage. Now, the Witch King versus Gandalf. He will get exerted for Shadowfax, and I will use this card over here to make it so that the Witch King is -1 health. or -1 strength. Thus, Gandalf's 14 to the Witch King's 13, and the Witch King has no abilities or strength to make it so that he can get above Gandalf. And Gandalf with his damage bonus, and with the one he's going to do right there from the end drop to exert to make him damage +1, guess what? He kills the Witch King. Hell yeah. Gandalf is a strong boy. Okay, let's go on again. Next site. Come on, Gandalf, I'm rooting for you. You're like my favorite deck, so I really hope you pull through. Okay, more bad guys. We got a lot of bad guys now, don't we? Yeah, Rupro, it is not looking good for us now. But it's okay because I have 2 cards. Each card makes Gandalf Defender +1, so I will make Defender Gandalf Defender +2, so we can fight 3 guys at once. So of course we'll fight the 3 strongest guys. And then have the rest go over there. And it's okay if Gandalf dies. Why? Because I have sent back not once but twice, so I can bring Gandalf back to life with my other Gandalf cards, which I do have in my hand. So I'll be fine for round 9, won't I? Because Gandalf will be okay. We will use these cards to make it so that we can all go on poor old Gandalf. That's alright. So Gandalf has a big old party. We will use Send Back to put the current wizard in a dead pile and discard everyone involved in his combat. If I get to it. Come on, Bryce. Come on, there's only 5 minutes left in the video. Come on. Do it, Bryce. Why are you lollygagging? Just deciding where to put them on Frodo, I guess. Frodo will be fine, because he can't get totally overwhelmed. He will get some more burdens, though, by putting on the ring, but ultimately, he's okay. So, we'll get them out of there. You can put on another damage or whatnot, but Frodo has the blue ring, so he does have 1 health left, so he's fine. I think our Ints lose their fights, but that doesn't matter too much, because we're not staying here. We gotta wait to play Gandalf next turn, don't we? And then all of these guys are gonna go away, and Gandalf's going away to be sent to the abyss to resurrect again like a beacon of light that he is. Thanks, Gandalf. Thanks for always being the best. Taking everybody down with him. Everybody. And then we're not gonna fight this crap again. I guess he is because he's fierce and he'll do that damage to that Int. But we're definitely not staying here because that would seal our doom. Alright, it's the dwarves' turn. Gonna play some bonus last minute rings and stuff on them to get them just a little bit stronger. A little axe. A hand axe. You can only have 2 weapons and whatnot, but hand weapons you can have, like 1 hand weapon each just because it's like a little throwing axe basically. Only does 1 damage, but it lets you discard it to have an archery point. Okay, let's see if they can survive. Going to Site 8. That's the one with a lot of points that come out. Okay, we got some Dunlander guys and some Nazgul and some Nazgul orcs. We'll assign them all, though steadily enough. Okay. Gimli will kill this guy outright. I think he will take a damage because he's not strong enough, but that's okay because it doesn't even matter if he dies at this state or wait, he will fend him off. We're good, never mind. fine, don't worry about it. But uh-oh, the Dunlin people will use their cards to make it so that they still win the fight. And our dwarf, will lose. Just 1 damage though, but he will come back as fierce, so that might be a bit of an issue. And then Frodo's fine. Just kind of a weak guy to fight Frodo, so that's okay. He comes back as fierce. He'll fight Gimli. And I think Gimli is actually strong enough to fend him off. And I think I used that. There was that card below that lets me put X wounds on people as I am X damage, which is how I was able to delete that other guy. And what are we looking at? What are we looking at? Is this the bullshit RNG of out of 3 guys to fight? Out of 3 guys to fight, we only have 1 enemy. It sure is. All that Twilight stuff because Gimli had that card that let him get rid of the last guys, that let him put X damage for a dwarf who was X plus damage. Got rid of the last guys. This guy is the only one we have left. But guess what? That hand axe that Gimli played, he can discard it to have 1 damage in the archery total for the Fellowship. And the Dunlin guy has 1 health. So he throws it on him, kills him. And there was no one to fight for the last sight. So the dwarves win. Yeah. Gimli wins in the most bullshit way. Yay. So here are our victors. Gimli, I think, is other dwarf, the brown token, and of course, the presiding Baldy and Rufus. This has been Bryce Can Read, the part 2 of our Lord of the Rings collection game. Thank you for bearing with me for so long. I hope that your chosen person, at least if didn't win, had fun. As you know, dog never sleeps. I hope that you may sleep now. Goodbye.